welcome back to my channel. It's MK Williams, self-published author and independent publisher, here to give you tips to help you on your publishing journey. So today I'm going to be talking about when is it time to update your books. So what's really interesting is that in this digital age that we live in, if you have a blog, you can update it at any time. There's new information, there's updates to a policy that you were talking about, updates to terms for something. You can go and update it at any time. The thing with books is once they're out there, they're out there. It's pretty finite. But I do think that there's a time and a place to update your books. So I'm going to go through my process of what I've been doing to update my previous books in preparation for my fourth book, The Infinite to come out. So one of the things that I needed to do was, because I moved all of my IP into my LLC, which I posted a video on that as well that you can watch, I was able to update the front matter of all of my books to say that it's no longer published by me, the person, it's now published by me, the LLC. So that was one thing that I needed to do to make sure that's correct. So now any future printing that's done of my books, because they're all print on demand, will have that information. But I also realized I had my old URL in there, so I still have the domain nailbitersnovel.com because when I first published, that was my only novel, so Nailbiters novel made sense. So now that I have multiple books, the domain that I push everybody to is to mkwilliams.com. So both domains are for the same website. So I went through all my books and I updated the URL to be mkwilliams.com because I really want people to use that one, so eventually I can sunset nailbitersnovel.com. So I wanted to update that as well. I also have started to put in a list of my works in my book. So of the authors that I read that I really love and I want to emulate that have this very expansive catalog of work, they usually have a list of their books in the front matter, and if it's a series, they'll break it down by series. They'll say fiction, nonfiction, poetry, they'll have that all in there. So I have a list of all of my collected works in the front matter of my books. So that means now every single time I have a new book come out, I have to update that, which I'm happy to do. It's pretty easy and straightforward. And then I also made sure to update the back matter to specifically say, hey, if you enjoyed this book, please leave a review, because, hey, you should leave a review for the books that you read. It really helps out the author and other readers who are figuring out what they want to read. So those are the items that I specifically knew I needed to update. Now, it was a little tedious to go through, but I had a process. So I usually have two documents. One is my Word document, my 97 Word document for the ebook, and one is my 97 Word document for the print-on-demand print file. So I have to save that to PDF. So I went into the ebook one first, updated the front matter, updated the back matter, updated all the things that I wanted to do, saved it as a new date. So I have a folder in my cataloging system where I moved the old version to archive, so now I know to not use that one, and I have the most up-to-date one with today's date on it. So anytime I've had to go in and make changes of this matter, so every time I put out a new book and I have to add a new book to the list, I'll be doing this. I put it in the archive so I know what's old and I know what's current. So if for any reason I have to pull from that, I'm only pulling from the most recent one. So I did this for each book. I submitted it through Smashwords and KDP and Google and Streetlib, so they're all updated. And then I went into my Word documents that were for the print versions of each book, and I made those updates, saved it as a Word document with the new date, saved it as a PDF with the new date, moved the old ones into the archive. So again, a little tedious, but because I'm the publisher of my books, this is what I need to be doing. I can't just let things slide because, oh, I have better things to be doing with my time. I have a lot of better things to be doing with my time. I should be doing more PR, I should be doing more paid advertising, I should be doing a lot of things. But this is something that is necessary for me to be doing as the publisher to make sure that matter in the book is up to date. Because I don't want somebody to get something and think, whoa, this is really out of date. They don't know what they're doing, because I do know what I'm doing, which is why I update it. So hopefully you have found this information helpful. If you have a different process or if you have a different means of going about updating the front matter and back matter in your book, I'd love to hear about it. But if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. It really helps YouTube know that you're finding value and gets it in front of other authors like us. So I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and now you can get back to writing or updating your books.